match, 9 days away from playing. There's still a little bit of tweaking to be done between now and then, or do you feel like you've got everything where you want it to be?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a really good position coming off our 2 practice games. I feel like what we wanted to get out of it as a team we got. Obviously, you know, there is a lot of tweaking to be done, and I don't think you're ever going to be happy with your product and final product at that, and it's going to continue throughout the season as well. But I feel like, yeah, we're in a good position and we're feeling confident where we're at the minute.
Most of the teammates we've spoken to so far would ask the question about, you're going to get a really early good indication of where you're at playing, obviously North Melbourne first up and then having to go to Adelaide.
Yeah, we will. You know, reigning champions last year, they're pretty incredible. I think it's great to get off to a first start, get a team like that, really find out where you're at and find out, you know, areas that you're good at and areas that you need to improve on. So yeah, and look, right throughout the competition, it's going to be pretty competitive. You know, coming off last year, from my first year here, there was a complete difference in skill level and the challenge that brought as well. So every year I find that the competition is improving. So I feel like even teams that mightn't be at the mark last year are going to be up there this year, and it's going to be a really competitive season this year for everyone.
Talking about improvement, you've obviously come up for a wonderful season last year. How does Aishling Moloney take her footy to the next level?
Yeah, obviously we did quite well at home in Tipperary this year. We reached a quarter final for the first time in 40 years, so that was pretty incredible. We were the first county ever to win an All-Ireland final, so there was a bit of a historic moment there as well. But yeah, look, my pre-season, obviously I've missed quite a substantial amount of weeks here, but I brought home 10 footies with me in the suitcase, and I've been practicing at home since I've left, so it's been pretty good.
There was even a video of you doing some farm work over there in Ireland. What did you get up to when you were back home?
Yeah, it's pretty raw, you know, in terms of real life Ireland. Aishling working at home is feeding calves, getting out amongst pheasants and ducks and chickens. So yeah, it's great. That's me at my best, and I find like when I go home I love that element that I can get in when I'm back home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your captains, rival captains have got you leading, well, 4 of them have you winning the goal, kicking again. I suspect that's not a target for you, that's a byproduct of what happens up the field, but do you feel that you're probably going to have that influence inside forward 50, especially with Chloe still being indefinite in terms of her ability to take the field, that you're going to have to take a lot of that load with the goal kicking? Honestly,
it's something that I haven't thought of. You know, when you win these accolades, obviously in the moment and in the time, they're amazing. But for me, I'm quite a person that's history now. That's last year. There's a saying back home in Ireland, you're only as good as your last game. So for me, even doing as well as what I did in terms of accolades last year, I was quite surprised, because personally I thought that I had a lot more to contribute and give. So it's great coming in, obviously gives you that confidence, you know, having kind of achieved certain things last year, but for me there's a lot more that I want to do. So I think being on the back foot for me as a person and where my standards are at is going to help me focus for this year and improve as a player.
Obviously, after signing that 3-year deal, like how will it look when you go home? Will you be looking to always play for Tipperary in the off season, you know, to keep you fit, or will it be more of a focus on AFLW sort of as maybe the years go on?
Yeah, so obviously I've had the opportunity to go home the last 2 years to play for Tip. Yeah, I'm a kind of a person, growing up in Ireland, like we play all year round, 365 days a year. So I'm not sure how that's going to look right now at the minute, next year. Haven't had that chat with Geelong yet. So yeah, whatever it is and whatever they're happy with and I'm happy with, we'll look ahead to that. But yeah, looking forward to obviously just getting my head down this season and getting started next weekend. And what a great opportunity I have personally as well to play against some of the best defenders in the game, to test where I'm at too, and you know, waking up fairly lively as to where I need to go and what I need to do.
Are you watching a lot of the men's AFL when you're back home? Are you tuning in and keeping an eye on things while you're living life back in Ireland?
Yeah, I think it's so important. Obviously, when you don't have the access to look at the women's game, you know, even the game IQ, that's one thing that I probably took forward this year going home. I teach as well, so sometimes you have a few supervision classes, so I had the games on in front of me, and sometimes the students had to watch them as well. So yeah, I think just keeping in touch with, you know, positions and game IQ was really important for me, and probably made me a bit more comfortable coming back this year, just having kept touching that bit more than what I did year 1. So yeah.
Any of your highlights make any of those screens in those classes?
Certainly not, and if they did, I'd be running out the door.
Who's really impressed you over the pre-season, especially players who maybe, I guess, weren't as established last season in the practice games, who's really caught your eye?
I think as a collective, to be honest, obviously I'm quite new to this game. This is only my third year really, which seems a bit mad. I feel like nearly one of the older ones now, but yeah, I think just honestly as a collective, I think the maturity within the group since year 1 to year now, and what Dan has done over the course of his tenure here, other years we're probably focusing on little bits, whereas now we're kind of just trying to bring that together as a whole and just trust ourselves and back us in to be able to do numerous things at once instead of just focus on one aspect that we need to improve on. So I think the maturity in the group has been massive this year since I've came back.